everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We are about to do chakra alignment, or Sunday chakra alignment. See what it is that you guys need to know at this time, how you guys can better align your chakras to have a healthy weekend, have a healthy week. See what it is that you guys need to know. Thank you for joining. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, okay? Like, comment, share the live, okay? If you guys need any information for booking, it is in the description. Please be sure to use the description if you guys need any booking information. You can find my Linktree link down below, just in case it's not in my bio, you can't find that. You will see my Linktree link in the description, guys. It has all of my booking information. I will never reach out to you for a reading, okay? I do offer same day, live, and private readings, okay? So if you find me on live, you can always get a reading. Or if I'm not on live and you still want to book, I do offer same day private readings as well. But let's get started with this chakra alignment. I am going to use 3 different oracle decks before I hop into tarot, just to get some fine details, fine downloads. Some of these words, or some of these cards might be of significance for you guys. So I want to get as many downloads as we possibly can for this chakra alignment. We're going to start out with the root and go all the way to the crown. Kundalini awakening. Okay? I did already pray over the reading. If you guys want to pause and pray, it's perfectly fine. I'm going to put on some floor water. And then we can go ahead and get started, guys. Alright, I think I'm going to start with this one first. I haven't used this one in a while, so I want to start out with this one and see what we have going on. Ancestors, angels, archangels, known and unknown sources and forces of assistance to benevolence. What are the messages that we have for this part of my collective for the chakra alignment? Okay, the first card we have here is rest. Okay, we have rest here. I hope you guys can see. We have rest. We have space. We have hunger here with the solar plexus. We have hunger here with the solar plexus. Chakra. We have rejection here with the heart chakra. Disruption with the throat. And about this third eye chakra. Mystery. And crown. Determination. Okay. The good thing about this is we do have a little bit of every chakra. Okay, we do have a little bit of all of them. It is just a little bit discombobulated. It's just a little bit out of place. Okay, we're probably going to be starting out with resting. Making sure that you have ample time, time, effort, energy, and space to do all that you set your mind to. It's like trying to work when you're delirious. It's like trying to accomplish a lot or trying to get a lot done when you haven't given yourself enough time to rest, you know, and think and to come up with a thorough plan to think everything through. You know, this only confuses you, you know, and only it's like you're working with half of your brain. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna take the card that just popped out. Oh, there's two of them. I just saw one. I'm gonna start over. I am going to start over. Let's start again. First card we have here is rest. Let's get something for this. Completion. Alrighty now, y'all. It's time to put it to. There are some things that it's time to lay to rest. You need to be giving yourself grace, you know, and space as you close out some chapters of your life, you know, and really allowing yourself to grieve. You guys should totally check out the general reading that I just posted today. I might pin it down below if I can, you know, situate everything. I'll pin it down below. That reading might be of significance for you guys for this chakra alignment. We have bittersweet here with space. Quest here with hunger. You know, I feel like all of this is really self-explanatory, you know, but I am going to pause for a second and really get a little bit into detail about what I'm seeing before we continue. Just with this resting period, and like I said, you know, you being able to work from a balanced place or work from a well thought out place, you know, there is some endeavor, some goals that you maybe have set or some new goals that you are needing to set after closing out a chapter of your life, after being able to let go of some things and making space for new things and no longer leaving things up to chance, you know, but now it's time for you to really incorporate a real plan for how you want to bring this into fruition. You know, we have rejection out here with your heart chakra. You know, I want you to use your heart. You know, I know that it might be needing some tender loving care after having to close out or step away from, you know, certain things and aspects of your life, but you will be needing it. You do need it so that you can use it, so that you can authentically go on this path. You know, I don't want you to block off your heart chakra because you don't want to feel, you know, all the other things that are going on in your life. You know, you would rather not feel those negative things, but on the contrary to that, you need your heart for the positivity that is going to bring for the next chapters of your life. You don't want these next chapters of your life to be fueled through that negativity that you're not facing, you know. So give yourself grace and space to feel whatever it is that you need to feel throughout this process of you moving forward here, so that you can move forward rightfully so without so much baggage. You can move forward with freedom, you know, to set up a legit plan without that scatterbrain, without that, you know, half-ass brain kind of thing. You understand what I'm saying? You know, allow yourself whatever time, effort, time and space and grace and effort and energy that is needed for you to get through, get past this, or, you know, learn how to accept what you can't change and start taking action towards the things that you can. Okay. Now, let's see what we have here as we continue. Recovery with rejection. Okay, so don't run away from it. You know, understand, accept, you know, give yourself grace. You know, allow yourself to gain the necessary wisdom. Allow yourself to appreciate what once was, you know, so that you can make conscious decisions about what you want to bring into your life just based off of what you have already experienced, negative and positive. trickery out here with this disruption. You know, these things that we cannot change, you know, ultimately are the things that it's like the punches that you have to roll with in life. It is not to knock you down, or it's not to keep you down. It's so that you can get up stronger, or you can learn how to essentially bob and weave. You know, it is as you grow older, you know, you gain wisdom and perspective and discernment. You know, you learn how to get out of your own way. You learn how to stay in your lane. You know what's for you and what simply isn't for you. You know, so don't deny yourself the wisdom that can be gained from you truly feeling these experiences all the way through, rather than acting as if it didn't happen, or, you know, denying yourself the rest that's going to be needed, you know, to get back to a balanced square. You know, you don't want to move prematurely when you haven't fully processed, when you haven't fully grieved, when you haven't fully rested. You know, allow all of that to happen without feeling guilty, or without feeling like you're being left behind. The previous reading that I just did, the general reading that I just did, is definitely of significance here. You know, just because you're not walking the path in the 3D does not mean that you aren't still making progress. You know, so don't allow your mind to play tricks on you, essentially, or your eyes, or whatever. You know, make sure that you are doing all that you can to stay in alignment, and trust your process, and trust the Almighty Divine. You know, as you take each step, all you really can do is take it one day at a time, one step at a time. So you want to make sure that you are doing what you can to put your best foot forward. $12 as I look up. We have mystery here with vanity. This is the time where you can start making conscious decisions. You know, you can start co-creating with the universe. You can start co-creating with the Almighty Most High Divine God about your next steps and your next plans. You know, you can really, and whoever you have around you, if you have like-minded individuals that you can network with, and right now would be a great time for you to do that, or you should start planning, you know, or who you plan to do that with. Let's see what we have here for determination. Faith. We have faith out here for it. All right. Now is the time for you to be co-creating with God by trusting the plan, trusting the path, trusting that you are aligned and you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Even if you are experiencing some things that you would rather not, or if you are experiencing some things that, you know, really do hurt you to your core, you know, it is for you to feel. You know, it's like they had to break through. I'm seeing someone having to get through the core of the earth to get to the hottest parts, so that it can come out. So, you know, in some way, shape, or form, it can be used. The heat, the power from the inner core can be used to manifest, can be used to open up other doors, new doors, you know, a new timeline, essentially, busting out. I'm seeing someone like a snake breaking out of its shell, and stepping into its new skin, you know. Something is going to hurt. Okay, but it's all with purpose. It's all for a reason, as you know. As you know. It's so cliche, but it's really the truth. Let's see what else we have here for this chakra alignment. Sunday chakra alignment. We have this completion. Let's see what we have here for this completion. Wholeness. I'm seeing like the light and the dark, and everything in between. bittersweet. Curiosity. You never really know, what moves you, what you'll stand for, what you'll fight for until you are put into position or until you feel the deepest. Until I'm seeing like someone deciding like if they want to go to war or something of that nature. It's about how you feel and what you feel, what you are willing to live for, what you are willing to die for. It doesn't have to be that serious, but most times it is. Most times it really is that serious. More importantly, what you are willing to live for. There's so many things. So many things. We have inner child. So you guys have a lot of dreams that you have yet to accomplish. You have a lot of goals that you have yet to embark on. You have that bucket list is still full. You only got 2, 3, 4 things checked off of that bucket list, and it got 20 things on there. So you still have some living to do. So I need you to get back up and roll with the punches. Get back up and continue to live. If life knocks you down, get back up. You still have some things to do. It's like riding a bike. You got it until you get the hang of it. Until you have a better understanding that you have to roll with the punches. You have to, break ahead of time. I'm hearing break. I'm hearing someone say break. Push the brake. Okay? Know when to take a break before you crash out. Okay? Learn ahead of time. Okay? It takes practice, of course. And that means you have to keep getting back up on that bike even though you fell down. Okay? And then not to mention, trust that you have protection, okay? That you are padded with protection, okay? That you are under the Almighty Most High Divine God's wing. He, she, whoever it is that you pray to will never lead you astray. As you can see. Alright? Whoever you pray to. They heard you. They heard the manifestations. They heard the prayers. They heard the cries. They heard the dreams, the wishes, everything they heard. Okay, all you have to do is continue to see it through. I'm hearing curiosity kill the I'm actually hearing curiosity kill the cat. Like in this particular situation, I need you to be as curious as a child that's constantly asking questions or constantly being optimistic about, trying to figure things out rather than becoming secluded. I heard secluded, but limited, for lack of a better term, I'm just gonna say limited, to the trials and tribulations. Instead use your discernment. As you gain discernment, you can fine tune, you can truly cultivate and craft what it is that you want to involve yourself in or how you want to do it, but you still have to take those leaps of faith. You still have to live your life. Now that you know better, you can do it better, but actually do it. Actually do it. And do it right, okay? This says inspiration. We have this here with trickery, okay? You would think that the things that you have experienced most often, the trials and tribulations that you experience were to knock you down or break you down or break, period, like literally break you. But those are actually the things that is supposed to give you the hunger, that's supposed to give you the inspiration, that's supposed to empower you to fine-tune that radio, to fine-tune that taste, to whatever it is that you want to hear, to whatever it is that you want to see. Okay, God gave you a vision, God gave you an image, God gave you perspective in some way, shape, or form, and I need you to trust that. Trust that each experience that you go through in life is destined for you to authentically fine-tune so that your purpose is uniquely crafted to you. Everything was already mapped out. Everything was already planned out. All you have to do is trust. Trust whatever it is that you are feeling, especially if it's as you move through that or as you work with that is for the good of all and to the harm of none. Trust that it's going to work out in your favor, and this is God's plan at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you know, release your ego. Allow yourself to be a sponge again in some way, shape, or form, and soak up whatever it needs to be soaked up, or let go. You know, let go and feel so that you can really move forward authentically. You can call back your power by rewriting your story. You have money out here. Growing. So this week, you know, you guys can see an influx in your finances. With you could be resting. Okay, you could be getting rewarded for resting. Who would have knew? Who would have? Anyways, but just because you're not growing or you're not progressing in the 3D does not mean that you're not growing and progressing in other areas of your life. Trust that all growth is going to be acknowledged and seen and rewarded and given back tenfold. Faith is over here with growing. Money is over here with vanity. Please believe. Okay? Please believe, baby. But yes, you know, you could see an influx in your finances. Okay, and a decrease in your energy. You know, you might be literally given the resources that you need for you to take a break and rest and breathe. Thank God for that. You know, thank God for that space and time to do that. You know, where you would otherwise be working, or you would otherwise be doing this, that, and the third. So you might get an influx, but something might go wrong for you to sit the fuck down. Okay, trying to keep it cute. Trying to keep it cute. Trying to keep it cute. I'm trying to keep it cute. Okay. But let's see. I'm gonna end it out with some tarot. This chakra alignment, it ended. I mean, it went by a lot faster than I expected it to go by. You know, so that could be of significance as well. We're only 22 minutes in, where I usually go about 30. I think the last video was like a little 30, 35. But yeah, let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Okay, what card is that? This card, oh my gosh, is the Ten of Swords. Yes, honey. Sit your ass down now. The Ten of Swords. Hi, Chubby Bunny. The Ten of Swords, definitely needing time to get back. Okay, this is definitely a period of resting. This is definitely a period of, you know, patience with yourself, grace with yourself, tender love and care. You know, this is, you cannot rush. I'm seeing someone like, you know, in the hospital or something, like, and trying to rush that recovery process, and that only, that rushing, I'm seeing someone trying to, like, get up and rush and do something and tearing something, like something tearing. When somebody's supposed to be sitting down, somebody's trying to get up and move, and something tears. You know, so just relax, okay? A tear could be of significance or something like that. Just a pull, like somebody like pull a muscle. Just slow down and relax. You're really not in a place to be moving right now, and this is a good thing. You know, you really need to pour into yourself. You know, hug yourself, love yourself. I'm here. It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. You know, just do what it is that you need to do so that you can move. This energy can be moved. This is like still water, stale water, moldy water, spilled milk, moldy spilled milk. You know, so we want to take the time, you know, to clean that, you know, cleanse that, you know, clear the smell, throw it away. Like, it's a process there. You don't want to rush that, because if you rush it, you might leave some behind and you still going to smell that smell. So you want to make sure that you just cleanse it all out. You know, take the time and take your time. Okay, thoroughly wash everything. Thoroughly. Okay, the Ten of Swords, you guys know, is a, you know, that's a place to be. There's nowhere but up, pretty much. There is nowhere but up from the Ten of Swords. King of Swords. We have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Energy could be of significance, but this is more your mind and awareness and an understanding and surrendering and releasing control, not overthinking. The Knight of Pentacles. We have this here with inner child. You know, at this time, while you are healing, I want you to, your inner child might really actually help heal you. You know, thinking back to how far you have come, thinking back to your old stomping grounds, you know, thinking back to the things that you said. That I'm seeing someone saying when they were younger that they wanted to be a veterinarian, and someone could have wanted to be a vet when they were a kid. But you ended up going in a completely different direction from that. Something about, you know, you thinking about, you know, your childhood or nostalgic memories during this time is going to speak to you in some way, shape, or form. It's going to help you in some way, shape, or form. We have recovery here. Okay, it's also going to give you perspective about you getting back to yourself, or you getting back to what you always wanted to do. You know, what your inner child has been always yearning for, but because life's trials and tribulations, you could have been, you know, detoured or taken for a ride. You could have been taken for a ride, you know, but this Knight of Pentacles is like, the inspiration coming from this is going to be stemming from your inner child and how much grace and space you can give yourself to heal. And then also how I'm seeing like a child, experiencing something traumatic and then using that to draw, or using that, I'm seeing someone that could have been an artist as well, like a, you know, someone that used to, like a child that used to draw. I can't, you know, an artist. But yes, that could be of significance, but I'm seeing someone channel that through art. Okay, so that could be of significance. It's like maybe when you were a kid, when you had certain things that you used to do, that would help you get through, that you can now use in your adult life, incorporate into your adult life, that would help you. It's like getting back to the basics in some way, shape, or form is going to help you, but also inspire you to remember how far you have come. And sometimes, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Sometimes the old remedies still work. You know, sometimes you have to, you know, go back in order for you to get to the future. You know, so that could be of significance here. The Star. Okay. Alright. Aquarius energy could be of significance, but for real, it's just like unlocking or remembering who you are. You know, remembering this water, definitely connecting with water, memory, water, bodies of water. Water holds memory. Getting in water could be significant. Getting in a like fully engulfing, or like not a shower, but maybe a bath, a spiritual bath, a cleansing bath. You know, even just, you know, bubble bath. You know, whatever. Submerging yourself in water. Get in the pool. You know, where I am, the weather is warming up. My kids just recently went to the YMCA. I know one of our gyms, you know, there's a pool there. If you don't actually have a pool, if you have a pool, get in the water. You know, something about that is going to be of significance as well. Something about moving through the water, okay, and it's going to help. Do you see this water? Do you see this huge body? It says the Three of Wands. But do you see the huge freaking body of water and this woman is about to jump into it? I'm telling you, something is with the water. Okay, a water sign could be of significance, but this is hearing the call. You see the ear here. You see this woman has a ship on her head, but these are music notes that she's around. It's like the sail, the call is from the water. Ships are coming in, could be of significance. Okay, or voyaging could be of significance as well. You know, moving from one place or one space to another, you know, and trusting the call. Siren could be of significance as well. Death. We have Scorpio energy out here. It's like you're gonna get. I don't want you guys to take this the wrong way, but it's like you're about to get paid to die. It's like an inheritance. It's like an inheritance that you're about to experience. Your own inheritance that you left for yourself. That your child, your inner child, put in the works for you. That you can now reap the benefits of those rewards if you can remember. If you can go back. Okay, and this could really quite literally bring you some real abundance, like real money, not just the tools that you need to heal, but real money could be, okay, listen, shout out to the inner child. Okay, when you a child, there are so many things that you can manifest that you don't even realize how powerful your manifestation is, how powerful your gifts are when you are a kid, especially when you can imagine anything. So shout out to your inner child. Your inner child had the answers, and if you can get back to that place, if you can get back to the core and allow yourself to break through or be broken through, okay, like a butterfly quite literally breaking through its shell or whatever you call that chrysalis thing. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, but yeah. Clarify it's growing. The Nine of Pentacles. I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. Is it still recording? Thank God. My TV screen turned off. I thought the video ended. Thank God we're still recording. But the Nine of Pentacles here is really just abundance is growing in more ways than one. In more ways than one. And it's only going to be a matter of time before your 3D matches your 5D. Once you can tap into this abundance and open up those doors in the 5D, it seems as if it's going to open up opportunities in the 3D just as fast. Okay, something is going to be cleared out or made easier than what it was before. Easier than what it was before, where something really wasn't growing or something really wasn't moving. You will see some progress here simply from you just trusting your path and continuing to move forward here. You know, good for you. Okay. I see the Nine of Pentacles out here with like growing. That is so dope. Where really, I ain't gonna lie, I might have been a little stuck and stagnant. You know, your finances could have been a little blocked, honestly speaking. You know, but that's going to be ending due to you resting. You see how that works? That's so funny. Because you have to lay it to rest. Okay, I'm done. But thanks, guys. Thank you so much for allowing me in your energy. Keep in mind, I do offer chakra alignments. Considering that this is a collective, you guys will have to take what resonates and leave what does not. But if you were to book a chakra alignment with me, it would be way longer. And it would be a lot more in detail because I'm talking to you specifically rather than a collective of people, which I wish to one day be like 48 million. Okay, so yeah. When you see it is when you are meant to see it. My booking information and my Linktree will be right down below, just in case you guys cannot make it to my bio. Yeah, I will never reach out to you for a reading. And yeah, subscribe to the channel, guys. Like the video on your way out. Bye.